Hey, beautifuls. I um I just want to come and give Black women the or help Black women with the freedom with feeling how the fuck we feel, and this new and this new news that happened last night. I'm recording this on Friday. I'm gonna post it tomorrow, and I'm gonna try to post it early so you guys can get to it, because I know everybody's gonna be going live on Saturday. But y'all, it's like poetic justice. I mean, it's so many moving parts that is happening at once. It's the dying. It's the dying, first of all, and then it's the dying on top of a Latina, a Mexican, and then it's the crack, it's the fentanyl, it's the Red Bulls. Like, it's just so many things mixed up in here, and this death that is just like, mother, if you have shown us the greatest gift that you could show us this Mother's Day, just say that. Like just say that, because I don't think that we really understand the gift she is given. And I know, and then for people to try to control how Black women react, you don't get to control our reaction. I mean, I'm everywhere on these social webs right now, and I'm just reading some of the comments, trying to police how Black women feel, trying to tell us that we are better than this. Look, we know how fucking good we are. Okay, so you don't have to come with that. Black women are better than cheering or celebrating somebody's death. We're celebrating, yes. Yes. For those of us who want to celebrate, yes, we are celebrating. We have, this makes us feel good. this is a joyous occasion for Black women. And, if you want to celebrate, by all means, sis, celebrate. I am celebrating because I feel like there was a sense of hopelessness in Black women, that Black women was pushing, right? As you guys know, I be on Clubhouse sometimes, and I'm telling you, I have heard Black women being dogged, because I usually, for the most part, don't go in rooms led by men. I usually don't go to rooms that men are in until Kevin Samuels stuff. Like, I wanted to hear those niggas weep. I have to admit, ladies, I wanted to hear them niggas cry about this one. But, as I said, I usually don't really even be in rooms that males are in. I especially don't get on stage with them, because their gaslighting is too much. It's too much for me to not take it personal, and I just don't want to, exert that kind of energy on them. But being in the Clubhouse rooms as a recent, hearing them niggas cry, that shit brings some kind of sick satisfaction to me. So yes, you may have caught me in those rooms as of recent, but usually I'm not in rooms with males, right? But I was in a Clubhouse room the other day, and it was with women, and this woman was on the stage cussing Black women out, telling Black women that we deserve death, and she's gonna spray her pillow with melatonin and sleep peacefully as we die, and that was one of the things that she said. But she was just cussing Black women out. Y'all, again, we're dark, we're fat, we're ugly, and we're nappy headed. And I was like, damn, this bitch sounds like fucking, sodomizer. Like, she took it back, cause in recent ones, like Kevin Samuels, he came on here, he cleaned up his act, his goal was to go mainstream, right? His goal was to take the hate for Black women. He wanted to take that shit to mainstream, right? So he cleaned up. He was a very tricky demon. He cleaned up how he talked about Black women, because sodomizer was just ruthless, right? And this woman literally sounded like sodomizer to me. Like whenever she's up on a stage and trashing black women, like I can't even listen. I have to leave. Like that's how harsh her language is to black women. And a lot of divested black women, a lot of divested channels have become that way to me. I just can't. I can't sit in it. Like I don't know how black women. I don't get how black women can really sit and be in talk to you in that manner and trashed in that manner, and you and black women just sit for it. I can't sit in it. I can't sit in it for two reasons. I can't sit in it for one, because it's I don't want that to be taken into my spirit, first of all. And second of all, I am contrary to the work I've done, deep down inside, I'm very confrontational. So in a room like Clubhouse, where it's a room full of black women, and it's an open stage for you to come up and basically talk your shit, like I really want to talk my shit, and I really want to let them know that this is self-loathing. A lot of these women hate themselves. They hate the fact that they are black, and you are spewing this hate on other black women. And I see it for what it is. It's the same thing that I see in niggles that it's this exact same thing that I see in niggles. It's really self-loathing. It's a hate and a disdain for blackness and for being black. And that's what the fuck it is. Like I can't get around it any further. And it took me a little while to sit on it and to really understand like where these women was coming from, because most of their language has changed, right? It began as trash and niggles, and I'm here for a good trash and niggles. That's one thing about me. I have experienced enough in my life to have a disdain and a disdain and a hate for black males. Like that's truly my life story, and that's how life served me. I'm not one of those black women who will say that they just ended up in this space, and I'm not saying that's not true for them. I'm telling you how I got here. My life experiences with black males, specifically in my teenage years and my early 20s, drove me to how I feel about them, and then getting away from them and taking a step away from them and looking at how they behave. That's where my disdain for them comes from. Well, that's where it originated. So when black women want to trash black men and they want to have like a good roast of black niggles, I'm usually here for it. Like I can usually, sit for it. And most of these black women began initially talking about black males, so I was there for it. And then their language started to change, right? They stopped talking about niggles and they started to talk about women. They try to connect it to women that deal with black men. And they'll, just trash black women who are dealing with black men, and they'll blame them for their own misfortunes. And, I just a couple of days ago, I was listening to, and I don't stay in these spaces long because I really can't tolerate it. Like, I really can't tolerate it, especially being a woman who, is from where I'm from, right? So I was in a room, or in the space, and these black women were laughing about the homelessness that black women are going to suffer as what is this? Section 8 and public housing is being taken from black women. As Roe versus Wade is being overturned, as all of these, as catastrophic events are happening, that is going to really, really put black women, especially black women in a impoverished state, in a very, very bad condition. And for those women, although I cannot change what's gonna happen, and although I do understand that it's nothing that I can do to stop it, my my empathy is still with them. I still feel bad that not bad as if I'm doing it, but I still feel, some kind of sadness in my spirit that black women are going to suffer in this way. But these women were in this space and they were making jokes, and I really just wanted to get up on the stage and be like, so y'all happy that black women and their children are going to be homeless? Like, y'all happy about this? This is bringing you some kind of joy because you're laughing about it and you're making jokes about it. And I remember when I first, when the pandemic first happened, I remember niggas being happy thinking that black women was going to suffer. I remember when Trump became president and niggas were happy thinking that black women were going to suffer. And I was just like, you know what? This is the same shit. I just, these spaces that black women are in right now, I don't, and it took me a little while, it took me too long for me, right? Because I really do pride myself on being a discerning woman. And I really am. For the most part, I really am a discerning woman. I know when danger's around the corner. I know when something's bad. I usually know when I'm in a bad space or when I'm somewhere that I'm in danger. I usually can feel it. I'm very discerning. But black women, I was watching one of Miss Archduchess videos, and that's one of the YouTube subscribers that I still watch and I still subscribe to, and I'm still in her spaces because her commentary and her work is more spiritually inclined. It's more although she does, roast niggas, and I'm here for a good roast, but her message and her work, her work, what she really does is really connected to the Divine Mother, and I feel like, that her space is truly safe for black women and all black women. I know that when she does her commentary and she may be talking about some of the horrors that black women are facing, she's not talking about it in a happy or getting joy from black women suffering. Like, that shit really, really bothers me. I can't really stomach it. But anyway, in watching one of her videos, she said black women do not know when they're in danger. And I was like, oh my gosh, that it really hit me in my gut. I was like, wow, that is true. Black women have no idea when we are in danger. That's why we sit in these spaces with these women who have become so harsh to black women. And I guess that black women are thinking, or doing air quotes now, like, divested black women, you think like she isn't, or these women who are trashing black women and, going to spray melatonin on their pillow and sleep peacefully, while black women die. You think that because you're divested, they aren't talking to you? Even when some of them have trashed divested women, they don't like black women. I didn't say this before and I'm gonna say it again. A lot of these content creators, a lot of these women who are talking on black women issues, a lot of these women who are making money off of black women, they don't like black women. And I think that black women we're missing it. And I think the best of us, right? Cronin women, I'm gonna call them the best, right? Cronin black women, the best of us who are still in those spaces. I think that the reason why we aren't seeing this is because we want to see the light in all black women, right? So you want to say, she's talking to black women viciously, and it's because she loves them, No. That is not how you talk to someone you love. That is not how you deal with somebody that you love. And if these women, especially those that have like huge followings and they have huge followings, and most of the women who they talk to is supposed to be divested or supposed to be women like them. And I'm gonna start being conscious of saying we, and start being conscious of saying us, and start being conscious of including myself when I'm talking to the women that I'm talking to, and then talking to the women I'm talking about, because what I've noticed that these women do, they kind of separate themselves from the rest of the women that they're supposed to be trashing, right? But your subscribers or your audience is not supposed to be those women, right? When I come on here and I'm talking to the fence sitters, right? I call them my fence sitting sisters, right? Because I know that y'all here, right? I know that y'all here. Y'all trying to figure out your way. Y'all trying to figure out, is it a chance that these niggas can act right? And no, sis, it's not. And I know that you probably been here for some while, and I know that you around in other spaces, and you're trying to, you're trying to just get your footing. You know what I'm saying? You're really trying to just get your footing right. And to go to some of these other spaces that are so harsh, I know that it's, it's the same shit. It's the same shit that you really could sit up in Blackistan with niggas and, at least when you're being trashed and dogged and, talked all over, at least you're getting dick with that. You come over into these spaces and these women trashing, talking to you and, treating you fucking horrible, and you ain't even getting no dick, right? And we know that black women having addiction to dick. So, that shit is just sending you right back to what really literally sending you right back to what I have checked in with some women who have been in some of those spaces with me, and I know that they back in Blackistan. I mean, they back knee deep in the fucking trenches, and I feel like most of these YouTube content creators have sent them there, but there's some of them have stupid ass logic, like, don't have black babies, or don't have babies for these men, just have sex with them. I mean, shit, they just, and then the ones that aren't just saying it flat out, they kind of trigger your memory of how it was dealing with apes, because they talk like them and they walk like them and they act like them. It's really just sending black women right back into Blackistan, and I'm not here for that, right? I want as many black women to begin to get out of that kind of environment as possible. So I do try to be a lot more gentler over here. I believe one of the reasons why I can be a lot more gentler, and I know, I ain't never had no sons, so I can be a lot more gentler, because I am actually, I'm actually a mother of a black girl, almost woman, and I know that I have to be gentle with her, right? I handle her with care, so, it just makes me, not only that, I wish that, a lot of times in my life that I was handled with care. I wish that, some of the times when I was young and I was, foolish and I was making bad decisions, that somebody would have stepped in and handled me with, the care that I needed, and handled me in a gentle way. As I said, most black women, that are beginning to transition out of Blackistan, is starting to answer the call to being a crone, to being a siren woman. Those women, they have yet to be treated gentle, right? Because black women are not allotted a soft landing or a soft space to be, to just be. And I hope that I can be more responsible and be in that space to the ladies who are over here, for croning women, as they begin to transition into a croning black woman. So I am gonna have a clubhouse room Monday night, and it's gonna be about black women not knowing when they're in danger, because I think that we really need to talk about this. And I think that one of the reasons I think that black women maybe our disconnection to mother, maybe because we aren't as spiritually inclined as we have been in the past. Maybe it's making it harder for us to hear her, to hear her fucking, ringing the alarms in our ears about someone, causing us danger. And that's why we just have a disconnect from spirit. And as a result, it's putting us in a lot of dangerous situations. Especially moving forward, just because the king did, you know what I'm saying? Listen, every time I say the king did, I'm gonna fucking laugh about it, okay? I'm one of the black women that's celebrating. I am celebrating for several reasons, but let me just say this. Just because the king did, just because the Godfather is dead, you know what I'm saying? Does not mean that some of his teachings are not still running rampant in these niggas. And more importantly, they're grieving now, right? So they're grieving, and the one stage of grieving is anger, okay? I know that black women think that these males was not as attached to Kevin Samuels as he has been, as they are, but I've been in some of those clubhouse rooms. Listen, those niggas are fucking hurt. Do you hear me? Those niggas are hurt, and they are beginning to grieve, and as they grieve, they're going to become angry, and as they get more angrier, that will make them more violent to you or us, right? So I think that black women, don't miss that danger, right? They are fucking, as I said in a lot of my other videos, they are ticking time bombs. I am not in that many spaces with black males because I think they violent as fuck, so I don't really put myself in that many spaces with black males, but sometimes I must get in a Uber, unfortunately. Sometimes I must get in an Uber, and when I get into Ubers have become dangerous to me because most of the time those niggas are fucking driving the Ubers, right? Now here we got grieving niggas driving Ubers trying to engage black women in conversation. Do not let them engage you in conversation about Kevin Samuels. If they bring that nigga up, and I know that your response want to be like, fuck that nigga, cheers that he's fucking dead, or maybe that's just me. Let me not speak for all black women because I know some black women are better than that. I'm not. Okay? I'm not better than that. Fuck him. The Divine Mother has done us a beautiful service, and I'll get into that. I'll get into her work in a minute, but I just want to warn black women, when you are in spaces with black males, do not engage in conversation with them about Kevin Samuels. Now, if you on Clubhouse, you on YouTube, you in your home with your your avatar showing, you know what I'm saying? And you want to, laugh at these niggas crying and weeping and sad, by all means. But when you in a real life space with these niggas and they want to engage you in conversation about Kevin Samuels, say you don't know who that nigga is and feign ignorance and let him talk his shit. Do not engage in conversations with them about him. Do not argue with them about him. Just feign ignorance and just be like, I don't know who that is. Wow. He died. Damn. Oh. And move the fuck on. Okay? Because they are going to become even more violent, as time goes on, because they're grieving and they don't know what to do. They are like, sad men or boys or apes, and that makes them increasingly violent because they are now grieving. So anyway, let's get into the Divine Mother very briefly. I'll touch on some of this on Clubhouse, but I know Miss Archduchess is supposed to be doing something private in her Patreon about the work of the Divine Mother, and I'm quite sure that it's aligned with some of the things that I'm going to say here, and I know that it is going to delve deeper because, as I said, a lot of black women's mystery should be kept a mystery. And that's why I appreciate her private space where she goes more into talking about the work of the Divine Mother in private. And I think that is something that Black women should be conscious of, and that's something that we should we should go back to our old ways. And our old ways was to meet in secret and to do our work in secret, and to one of my subscribers, she mentioned that, you know, me talking on YouTube and Clubhouse is, you know, it has to be just enough to kind of, you know, wake the crone in you, but the real work will have to be done underground. And I'm gonna try to make a private space for just a very small number of us, because some things have to be, you know, some things have to and must remain a mystery. But I will tell you some things that's happening. Okay. So here we go. Kevin Samuels dead. That bitch is out of here. Okay. And apparently it's so many stories. Like, it's just not even a dignified death. You know what I'm saying? It's embarrassing death. It's like it's just like nasty and dirty, just like him. You know what I'm saying? He allegedly is dead, right? He doesn't have any family to confirm his death, right? So he's dead, right? Allegedly, he died as a treasonous sexual deviant, and he died with the Latina. You know what? I like Mexican. He died with a Mexican, and you know, she did not really know him. I mean, maybe he bought her for the night. I don't really know. I don't even know if this story is true, but I'm just, fuck it. It sound good. It sound good. I like it. So he died with a Mexican, and she was a lady of the night. You know, he bought her for the night. And, you know, he took some fucking crack. You know, someone said he was on crack, and I'm gonna give credit to where it's due. If you used to listen to Miss Archduchess some time ago, right? It was a lady on there named Vicky. Black women had a problem with some of the things that Vicky said, but one of the things that she said that rang true, she said that nigga was on crack. And yeah, so he had some crack that I heard was laced with fentanyl, and some damn, what is the drug I just named? Some Viagra and the Red Bull, and that nigga heart burst. Okay? You can't put all that on your heart. And I know people that have smoked crack my whole life. My father, right? So I know people that have smoked crack my whole life, and it's really bad for your heart, but they be alive. But see, you can't add crack, Viagra, fentanyl, and all that hate for the Divine Mother into one heart and think you're going to survive. Okay? You cannot have that much hate for the feminine principle, for the physical representation of goddess on earth, and think your heart gonna survive. You know, it just can't happen, and it didn't happen. So the bitch heart burst, and now he is a fucking goner. But I want to get onto some things that Black women can notice with that. First of all, Black women, when it first happened, let me tell you where I was. You know, when it first happened, I had butterflies in my gut as soon as I read it, and it was on Clubhouse, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I was like, wait, is it true? So I went inside of a room. I went inside of a quiet room, right? I wanted to go inside of a quiet room, and really just look, somebody tell me the truth. Like, what's really happening, right? So it was a couple of rooms going on. You know, some of those bigger Clubhouse rooms was going on. I really didn't want to go in those rooms. I knew they was going to have the apes on the stage, and I didn't feel like dealing with the apes right then and there. You know what I'm saying? So I went into a smaller room, and I'm just like, what happened? And the women in there was like, you know, we really don't know right now. We really don't know right now, but But as we know, we'll share. Let's just talk about if he is dead, right? So I'm just like, all right, I'm not kicking in here with y'all for a little while because until we find out. And it was cool in there, right? We was in there. It was one woman who Ape got on stage, and I went, I went to go and like cuss him out, and I felt like, the Ape was saying whatever the fuck he wanted to say, but when I started talking, she jumped in and was like, I can't be in rooms like this. Okay, bitch, you can go. But I ain't say that because it wasn't my room, right? I just, people like to silence black women. Black women cannot be joyous in this moment, right? Even though, anyway. So I'm kicking it in there for a little while, and then eventually I left, and what happened was Miss Archduchess went live, and I was like, but let me come over here, because I'm like, somebody gotta confirm it. Like, somebody gotta really say the nigga did for I really be, joyous, and for I really take it as the sign that it was, right? So it's confirmed after we then sat in the room we then sat on YouTube for a little while. It's finally confirmed, right? And I'm just like, you know what? It's just, it felt like to me, because with black women, it's a whole lot of hopelessness going on. God damn. Like, it's a whole lot of hopelessness going on. Y'all gonna die. Y'all don't listen. Because y'all don't listen, y'all gonna be punished by the Divine Mother. She doesn't favor you anymore. She doesn't love you anymore. And, you're just gonna die poor. And, it's no way out of this, shit that we in for black women. I'm tired of hearing that shit. Like, I don't want to hear that no more. I don't do hopelessness when it comes to black women. I don't do hopelessness when it comes to black women, because I know how divine black women are. Black women have the power to wield the life that we want to wield what we want to, if we were to all work together, or at least a good number of us to work together and to agree on some things. Then, we could really get some work done in this realm for black women and girls, and we could kind of flip this shit upside down and have us where we supposed to be, and that is on fucking top, right? So I'm not gonna do the hopelessness with black women, but I was tired of hearing the hopelessness, right? And then Kevin Samuels dies. And I felt like it was a sign from Mother that, listen, I have not forsaken you. Black women as a collective cannot do enough wrong or make enough bad decisions for me to, just let you guys, and I'm speaking as I heard Mother speak to me. Black women, because I really started to think that the black women who are not croning, or who choose not to crone, or who choose not to live in their divinity, I was starting to think that it's too many of them. I started listening to this. This is why I really try not to outsource, right? Because I really started to think like, maybe it's just too many of them, too many of the black women who, for one, I don't want to use the word maybe anymore, so I'm not. One of the YouTubers that I watch, her name is High Priestess of Babylon, or Babylon, whatever. She made a reference to mammies and the original mammies, and she said that it was a dishonor to them to call these women mammies. And my grandmother, one of them, my father's mother, she literally looked, she has that archetype. She looked like Aunt Jemima, and if that's just a grandmother that's closest to me, then I know it's many more foremothers of mine that had that archetype and that were original mammies, right? And I don't want to dishonor them anymore. So I'm going to try not to use the word mammy anymore. I had to come up with another name for what I used to call mammies. But anyway, black women still shouldn't be mammying, for the black race, or for anybody. Mammying is a service to others, and black women are just not in a position right now to serve others. But anyway, I felt like it was too many of those kind of women for us to for us to still deserve her favor. You know what I'm saying? Because she's working for us, and they're constantly working against us as a collective. And I'm just like, you know what? Maybe she just fuck it. I'm gonna let them eat some shit for a little while, right? And I started to think that, right? Because that was, that was the kind of content I was listening to, right? So I started to absorb that kind of, energy. I'm just like, you know what? Maybe for a little while, black women deserve to sit in shit. Like, we done fucked up. We done made so many bad turns, as a collective, and, talking about black women, not knowing dangers, like maybe we have made too many bad turns, and, she's just like, you know what? They gotta sit in their shit for a little while. It's how I felt like it was a possibility that was happening, right? And then Kevin Samuels dies. And and I'm just like, you know what? No, she did not want the hate, the vitriol, and what his work, what this demon was about to do. Just she couldn't have it. Enough had happened, and this would just have been too much for us to bear. And let me tell you why I came to that conclusion. So immediately, when TJ Sodomizer started making his content, right, or when I became aware of it, it was over 10 years ago, and I became aware of it mostly on YouTube. I mean, not on YouTube, because I wasn't on YouTube back then. On Facebook, right? So it was clips, just like of Kevin Samuels. It was clips of him basically trashing black women. And I used to call for his death, right? And this was when I was, still thinking that it was a chance with these apes. I was knee deep in pro-blackness, and I started to ask the men in those circles, like, why don't y'all just, because they kill everybody. They're violent as fuck. They do away with everybody. They do away with their mothers, do away with their baby mothers, do away with their children, do away with each other. I'm just like, why y'all let him live? At that point, because back then, I always knew to call males to task, right? I always need to hold males to the patriarchy that they created. So if this male was spewing this kind of hate for black women, and at this time, the pro-black niggas was like, the black woman is the earth, and she's the mother, and so I used to be telling them, like, so how do y'all let him talk about black women like this? Like, why don't y'all just do away with him? Like, literally, I was calling for his death, and I got nothing, right? So when Kevin Samuels came again, one thing about me, so same thing, right? So I began to at that time, I wanted black males to just like sodomize. I wanted black males to do away with them, because I still had some hope in them niggas. I was like, you know what? All y'all kangs, y'all need to work together to get rid of this fucking this demon, right? And nothing came about. I heard that he got punched or something like that, but he's still walking around on Earth, breathing. But Kevin Samuels out of here, so I had to stop and think about the difference, right? I had to figure out why Kevin Samuels was such a harm for black women, that he really couldn't take up space anymore on Earth, right? Why she moved so swiftly when it came to him. And it was because Kevin Samuels was going, and I know that people don't want to admit that Kevin Samuels was going, or had the ability to go mainstream, but the fact that dumbass piece of shit Future put him in his video, right? Because the street niggas really didn't know who Kevin Samuels was. They really, as I said, they don't really know what's going on the internet, right? Because they outside, killing each other, real fast, they out there, terrorizing the neighborhood. So they really didn't know, that who Kevin Samuels was, right? And then this dumbass Future put him in a video, and then the world got to see him. Literally, the world got to see him. Future is a artist that the whole world knows, and he put Kevin Samuels in his videos, and then Nicki Minaj it was just like a beautiful, it was like a beautiful play put together. Like it was no way that he could really, it was no way that he really could have, grew in popularity and no one ever think that he was a demon, right? But anyway, then Nicki Minaj, she had an argument, or she went on his show, and I mean, he was about to become, at least bigger than he was, right? And that would have just pushed more hate for black women, right? Because, as I said, black women, with the apes hating you, right? That's one thing, right? With the apes hating you and killing us, hating us and killing us at 4 and 5 a day, right? That is one thing. If y'all hear like noise and moaning and all that in the background, my daughter is again home for for summer break, and she is right up in my room in my bed, right? Currently taking a nap. But yeah, so that's one thing, right? But a long time ago, a woman said to me that if black women are so demonized, right, that when we need help and we need to be aided, she was talking about Israelites at the time, right? She was saying that Israelites would try to, because Israelites, they admit to wanting to harm black women, right? They admit to harming black women and wanting to harm us and wanting harm to come to us, and they feel like, it's our just due, right? But she was talking about Israelites, but, let's just talk about black males in general. When they want to harm us and they want to do us a harm, and we have been demonized so bad, no one will come to our aid. And it's another reason, it's another more spiritual and a deeper reason why that happens besides black males, right? Because the hate for the Divine Mother, although it originates with black males, although black males begin it, it's a lot of other people who share and enjoy that hate, right? So as black males begin to harm us, if the hate and the vitriol and the demonizing of black women grows, then basically the world will just sit and watch. The world will just sit and watch and just be like, black women are horrible, and we are ruining society by keep on having black babies or black male children. Like, the world will just sit and watch, right? As they kind of are. If it's 5 of us being murdered a day and no one is doing anything, then they're watching us be murdered, right? But it could get a lot worse. And I felt like if Kevin Samuels was to become mainstream, unlike Sodomizer, right? Who couldn't become mainstream because he wasn't as tricky of a demon, so he didn't have the potential to become mainstream. But Kevin Samuels and his hate and his vitriol for black women could have become bigger than it was, and had that happened, it would have been a real catastrophe for black women. That is one reason why he had to be, cut down at the knees, right? Another reason is because black women, right? Black women hate, black women anger, and black women's hurt is a curse. I've said this before, but I mean it. I mean it. So when black women, whether we know our work, right, whether we know what we are doing, whether we are doing it consciously, our disdain and our collective hate for someone is a curse to them. And so it's black women who hated Kevin Samuels, right? And then it's, Cronin black women who stand in divinity, black women who do their work, right? And when I say do their work, I mean literally magic work, right? Do their work, and we were calling for his death. Like we wanted him dead. Like we were, we wanted him dead, right? And that's just, I'm gonna say it because I wanted him dead. Fuck it. But our anger those of us that was doing it consciously, did it consciously. And then those of us who did not do it consciously, but we just hated him, right? We just hated the fact that he was able to trash the black women in that way and humiliate us as a collective in that way, and to destroy us in that way, right? We had a deep hate and a deep disdain for him, and it was a curse against him. But what black women did not know, right, or the collective does not know, it's just like the Bible says, she covers fools, right? So for those foolish black women who is on the Twitter right now telling us that those foolish black women that's on the Twitter right now telling us that we should not be behaving like that, okay? We should not be we should not be excited about his death. We should not have popped our champagne. We should not have popped our champagne. You know, some of us was twerking, you know, in our apartments, in our homes, you know, for us to be joyous about this demon's demise. It don't look good for black women, right? You know, those fools that went on his show, right? Those very foolish women with the phenotype of my own womb's work, with the phenotype of my daughter, on the national, the worldwide YouTube being dogged and trashed and telling her that she is what was his line? Average at best, you know, that she should date men who anybody who wants her. One woman, he told her she was 38 years old, she should be giving that pussy away at this point. I mean, and then he went on to say that black women who have men, and your man or your daughter says, or your child says that the man touched them inappropriately, and what would be your response to that? And the woman says, you know, I would get rid of him, or I would, you know, stop talking to him, or fucking I would call a fucking police or something like that. He said that she did not deserve a man. See, these fools of women, these foolish women, Mother had to protect those women. You know what I'm saying? So on top of us doing that work, right? Mother had to protect foolish women. And this is another reason why I insist on you know, offering black women grace, because black women have the tendency to be foolish as fuck. And I have been foolish in lots of ways, so I'm not exempt from that. But black women have the tendency to be foolish as fuck. And when we are that fucking foolish, and that's the difference, that's another difference between him and the rest of the manosphere, that black women literally looked to him and called in and were publicly humiliated. It was like a ritual. A demonic ritual that black women themselves were participating in. Mother said, no fucking way. No fucking way, daughter. You're not gonna do this. No fucking way. No way. You're not gonna do this. No. So that was another reason why his ass had to go. So thank you to my fence-sitting sisters, my foolish sisters right up in here, because I know that you guys was over on Kevin Samuel's, you know, looking for your validation from him, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful. We could not have done this without you. We could not have gained this victory without you. I'm grateful for your presence. I'm grateful for your foolishness. I'm grateful that you are so. You're so childlike in your nature, and you're so foolish in how you behave, that the Divine Mother had to intervene on your behalf because you do stupid shit. It's like the fucking Tower card. You know what I'm saying? It's like the Tower card in tarot. You know, that divine intervention that just has to jump in because it's been warning after warning after warning, and you or we did not listen. Okay, you don't listen. I told you that you don't need validation. I told you that you are supreme and you don't need anybody outside of you to confirm that. I gave you the power and the ability to be magicians, and you do not do that. You instead look for validation from a fucking demon, I will get rid of your demon. I will get rid of your demon. And she did. And she did. She got rid of your demon. So now, my Vincent sisters, what you gonna do now? What you gonna do now? Like, what's your next step? What is your next step? Kevin Samuels is gone. You cannot get validation from him. Because black males were not the only one that looked for validation or looked at him as a father figure. Black women was looking at him as a father figure, and he was destroying us national internet. Okay, and Divine Mother had to step in and be like, "Fuck no, I'm not having this. This not what I'm having. This not what I'm having." Yes, yes. A lot of you have to come into your own and come into your own Cronin energy and your own divinity, to really get some work done. But this right here, I'm jump in right now because y'all definitely about to fuck this up, and she did. And for those of us who do our work, for us Cronin women, for us, it has come as confirmation that our work together can get what we need done. And for the rest of the black women who are foolish as fuck, it was Mother just letting you know that she will intervene if you can't get it right. If you can't get it right, she will come through and she will help you. She will help you see the light by listen. And this is something that I'm getting to ultimately. I'm trying to take baby steps in getting black women there because I know that black women love men. I don't know what the fuck that's about. To be honest. Like I gotta be honest, even when I was even as I was in relationships with males, I never put no male above me. Like, I never thought to do something so fucking foolish. I never put no male above black women. And your worship of males is another reason why she gets rid of them. So y'all keep that shit up. Y'all keep that shit up. Y'all keep on praising males. And this is me talking to my Vincent sisters, my sisters that's still looking for validation outside of themselves, that's not doing the work to be a crone, but you over here listening, so you must really, deep down on the inside, you want to be one. You want to walk in your divinity. You want to be a Cronin black woman. But you can't let go of them. Can't let go of them niggas. She will get rid of them for you. Okay. And for that, I'm grateful. For that, I come with a very grateful spirit and a very grateful heart, and honoring her and being grateful for her, yeah, I think that's gonna end my commentary. Y'all know I try not to go over an hour long because I know we as a collective have a very short attention span, but if you hear the giddiness in my voice and you hear how excited I am, I really am. I'm in a celebratory mood. Okay? I feel very, very good about this. I tried to talk to my daughter about it because and my daughter had no idea who Kevin Samuels was. Like, she really did not know who he was, and she really does not know. She said that she went on Instagram today and everybody was talking about him, but she said she really don't know who he was, and the Divine Mother decided to keep it that way, and for that I am grateful. For that I am eternally grateful. Okay, because there's lots of 19 and 20-year-old girls who have no idea who he is, and they saw this nigga on YouTube today, they saw it on YouTube, and that was the only way they will know him, as a nigga that black women hated, and then he died. That's how my daughter now knows him, and that's who the fuck he is. That can go on his epitaph. Put that shit on his epitaph, that he was a nigga that black women hated, and he died underneath of or on top of a Mexican. Okay? And And that's my commentary. I love you, ladies. All of the ladies that are here listening. Even my fence sitting sisters that I may have triggered with some of the things that I said. I just want to offer you ladies some grace. Because grace has been offered to me several times, and I think that you deserve it. I think that all black women, most black women have the ability to, as was said, they have the ability to course correct. And to those women who are here and who is being called to crown. I'm gonna write a blog about that, but who are being called. I need to really get active in my blog, but I will come back with the commentary for what was my last blog, y'all? Whatever blog I'm on, right? I will come back for my commentary for that. But I just wanted to come through with a quick video about several things, but mostly about black women not knowing danger and why we don't know why when we're in danger, and to celebrate with my sister, okay, and allow you the freedom to celebrate. It's okay to be happy. It's a good occasion. It's a it's a sign from Mother that she is when we work together, she will come and work on our behalf. And who's next? Like, what we? Oh my gosh, I said who next in my. I felt like something in my gut. Your gut is where your soul resides, in case you did not know. In case you did not know, your soul is in your guts, okay? So, when I feel my gut fluttering, I know that, who next? Who shall we? It's not who shall we, but y'all, who next? In private spaces, we need to really start talking about who next. Like, next up. Let's just try to. I'm forgetting these niggas out as a whole, as a collective. As have them all be gone. Really, I'ma share this right now, but I could really, and being of one of those ancient bloodlines, I really enjoyed it when it was just us alone. Like, it was a good time in our existence, and I could really do that again. I could really do that again. So, that's where I am, to be honest. But that's that. You guys enjoy your weekend. I hope that you guys enjoyed your Saturday. Comments. Don't forget, I will be on Clubhouse on Monday. I think it's either 6 or 7 p.m. I shared a link. I will be on Clubhouse briefly talking about black women not knowing danger, and